Okay, can we talk Traitors for a second? By the way, spoilers, major spoilers. I'm gonna spoil everything. So if you don't want the Traitors spoiled for you, or if you watch and you haven't watched the finale, which premiered last night, if you have not watched it yet, then do not watch this, because I'm going to say and tell everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you've had enough time. So last night the Traitors finale premiered, and the reunion, which was after. And I'm going to tell you why I don't like that, for so many reasons. One, he played a great game. He deserved to win. He was ruthless. He was a traitor from the beginning who was out for himself. He wasn't playing with anybody else but himself, so his selfishness got him the money. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game. You have to be a traitor, you have to betray people, you have to lie to people. He did it very well. So kudos to Rob for winning. My issues, I have a couple issues. Let's talk about the Rob thing at first. Rob, just as a character on the show, is so unlikable. And not even unlikable in a bad way, he's a bad person, but he's just boring. And I think that's what the problem with this season was, is that we kind of all saw Rob winning, but he was just so boring. And yeah, he was lying to people and ruthless, but he was just kind of meh, boring white boy, straight white boy, just talking in a low monotone voice the entire time and staying underneath the radar. So again, my problem isn't the fact that he won, it's the fact that he was just so nobody was rooting for him to win. He betrayed the exciting people. Lisa Rinna was an exciting person to watch. Candace Bassett was an exciting person to watch. They make for good TV. And people say oh, well, this is just a game. Well, this is just a game. Actually, it's just a television show. And it needs to entertain the viewers. That's actually the whole point. The whole point isn't for these celebrities to be on a game show. The whole point is for people to watch this show, so advertisers can pay the network, so we see the advertisement. Anyway, we all know how TV works. So anyway, I just felt so unmotivated for him to win, even though I knew he was going to. And he's just boring. Even at the reunion, he was just so nonchalant. I'm dude, speak words, say something meaningful. So anyway, that's my gripe about Rob. Not his gameplay, but just his dull, boring personality. Next issue. Do we all notice the racial divide on the show? They get rid of all people of color off the bat. Any queer person, you don't even make it to episode 5, practically. But it's almost systematic. The people that they don't trust are people with darker skin tones. And the lighter people, white people, stay on till the end. That has been going on since I've watched The Traitors. They don't trust a drag queen. They don't trust a person of color. And it's just becoming kind of repetitive. I'm going to get into the repetitive thing later. So anyway, that is something that I noticed in this season. It was brown person knocked off, black person knocked off, queer person, they all go first. Which is maybe just a commentary on life and less of a commentary on the show. So there's my gripe about that. My other problem with the show, and I think they're catching on, because next season, if you've noticed, next season is going to be no celebrities. It's going to be regular people. Or it's going to be a mix of the two. I kind of forget. But anyway, they're introducing regular people into the show instead of a cast of all celebrities. I think that actually goes to my point about Rob. Rob is just a boring person that I didn't watch Love Island. I don't watch that show. But people have known him before, and he's just kind of this person that you're not rooting for. So if you have regular people on the show that you don't have any context from a previous show, maybe it's more of a clean slate for the audience. That's my thought around that. So we don't have any preconceived notions of these characters on the show. So that's why they're inviting regular people, and then we get to know them on The Traitors, as opposed to having an opinion from them from previous projects. So I think that'll actually be very interesting. The other problem that is catching on with me, that I've been noticing on the show, again, I think this is only season 4 of the American Traitors, right? But the traitor on traitor betrayal is very prevalent. And I think that kind of screws up the method of the show. It screws up like maybe the creators didn't think of that so much. They thought like Faithfuls and Traitors, put them together, they're gonna work together in their individual teams. The Traitors are now watching previous seasons like Rob just did. Rob just fucked everyone over. Rob screwed everybody over, even his own team that he's supposed to stick with. So that becomes a problem, because then now I feel like every traitor is now just going to go after their own traitors because they see that it works. So I think the show needs to come up with a way that the traitors need to be incentivized to stick together. Because the traitors are just good. It was last season too. When is it? Boston Rob. Boston Rob last season went after Bob the drag queen. A lot of Robs, a lot of Bobs, a lot of blah, blah, blah. Went after him right away and made for great television. But then it screwed up the dynamic. It blows up the traitors. So only a traitor who's playing for themselves knows to backstab their other traitors. So anyway, again, I feel like that destroys the formula of the show a little bit, and we're not as entertained by the traitors because they get knocked off so soon by the Faithfuls and their own. So the show's going to need to come up with a new way to, again, incentivize the traitors to stick together somehow. Because now it's becoming too easy, as we saw this last season with Rob, to screw over your other traitors and get ahead very quickly. So in recap, Rob is boring. The introduction of non-celebrity normal people I think will be good because we don't have preconceived notions of these characters beforehand. They need voting off queer people and black people right away, because if you notice, it's like one after the other. It's almost like a joke how obvious it is. Like, how did Rob, with all his snake tattoos, charm everyone? If you watch The Banishments, you're kind of like, oh wait, I see a pattern here with who's getting voted off and banished. So that's interesting. So yeah, they need to change up a little bit of the formula to make it last, the excitement for the audience to last. Because I felt like in this season, I was bored. I was like, oh, Rob's gonna win. He's just gonna schlep along to the finish line. And he did. Good for him for schlepping, but it was kind of like uneventful to watch. Even though Moira got like totally screwed over, poor thing, she doesn't know a fly from a guy at this point. Like, poor thing, she just didn't know the snake was literally biting her ankles. And we had the fair advantage of being an audience. We're like, you're so stupid, but we knew who the traitors were, right? So I guess if you're not in that situation, you don't know, but she screwed over all her friends just because some guy with snake tattoos told her to. So she's dumb, because I don't think I would have ever screwed over like my friends that I knew weren't traitors. Anyways, that's my long rant about the Traitors. Great, it's such an exciting show. I'm a huge fan, but I'm starting to notice the cracks that I don't think that the creators have noticed, that they might need to change, because the patterns are catching on to making the show less entertaining. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant about the Traitors.